gives you nothing that is just and reasonable.
Mother, it is you who must every day bring the Sultan a new bride, and I implore you to let the honor fall upon me.
Have you lost your senses? You ought to know by now what it means to be the Sultan's bride.
I do, and I have plans to change his ways. I have been watching him for many years and think him a great man despite his follies.
This grieves me greatly, daughter, but I know that once your mind is made up, it is useless to argue. I will approach the Sultan.
Sister, how do you plan to stop the Sultan from putting his new bride in prison?
Thank you for asking, and I have a plan, but I'm going to need your help. On the night of our wedding, please come to my room and say, Sister, will you please tell me one of your charming stories?
What a great idea. I will gladly do so and wish you luck.
Your honor, my very own daughter has requested the honor to be your bride tonight. She is clever and courageous in the highest degree, and has had the best masters in philosophy, medicine, history, and the fine arts. Her beauty excels that of any girl in the kingdom of Persia.
Vizier, you know as well as I do what the rules are. My first bride betrayed me, and I swore never to let it happen again. So, every night I marry, and then every morning I ask you to put her in prison, and then bring me a new bride. Knowing this, you're choosing to give your own daughter to me?
It is her very own wish, sire. Not even her fate could hold her back.
Let there be no mistake, Vizier. You will have to put her in prison yourself. And if you refuse, I will have you both thrown in there.
Whatever the cost, sire, I will obey. Though I am a mother, I am also your subject.
Very well, then.
Well met, husband.
Well met indeed. I'm glad to have you as my bride tonight. Your mother is a trusted advisor of mine, and she sung your praises. She told me that you requested the honor yourself.
I did indeed, sire.
I do hope you're not trying to change my mind, for that is a useless task. I learned long ago about misery and vowed never to let it happen again, so I get rid of each new bride before they have a chance to break my heart, and am forever free of sorrow.
A very enterprising solution. I'm sure very few would come up with the same conclusion.
True, and yet, more men should.
I'm sure not every man could be as clever as you are, otherwise there would be no women left. But I look forward to getting to know you in our short time together.
I hope you enjoy your time as queen. I am a good husband, and will deny his wife nothing.
For one night, that is. But I do have a favor to ask of you.
What is it?
Please allow my sister to stay with us tonight, as it is my last night with her before I am sent to prison.
Are we out there?
Certainly. I will call for her.
Greetings, Your Honor. Congratulations to your sister on your marriage.
Thank you for joining us, dear Dwarnazad.
Well, it's not every night you get an opportunity to stand by, and I would never miss an opportunity to hear one of the charming stories she hears on.
I don't think the king wants to hear one of my stories.
Of course he does. You tell the best stories, and only a fool could refuse them. And our king is certainly no fool.
Well, will you permit me to do as my sister asks?
Willingly. I do love stories. And have such trouble sleeping at night. Please, engage us till the morning when your mother comes for you.
This story is called The Fisherman and the Genie.
These nuts are heavy. Wonder, what is this? Some kind of bottle? Yeah, that's what it is. I wonder what's in it.
Who has released the king of all genies from this bottle?
I did, Almighty One.
Then I shall imprison you in it forever.
What? After I set you free? How ungrateful.
When a great magician first sealed me in that bottle, I swore that whoever let me out, I would make them rich. But then 100 years passed and nobody came. After that time, I swore that anybody let me out, I would make them pay. But then another 100 years passed and nobody came. And I swore that anybody who let me out, I would make them a king and grant them 3 wishes every day. But still, no one came. Finally, I grew angry at having been imprisoned in there for so long. And I swore that anyone who let me out, I would trap them inside and make them suffer as I have.
Ah, Genie, please do not use your magic on me. Only I have word that you can do magic.
What? Impudent mortal, how dare you doubt my powers?
Look, I'll tell you what. You go back into that bottle and pop out again and I'll believe you.
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
Well, how am I supposed to believe that you could trap me unless you go in there and pop out again?
Oh, I don't need any puny mortal to tell me what I can do. I'll go back in that bottle. I'll show you. That will be my small items. Small. There.
Are you really in there?
Well, of course I am.
And there you shall stay.
Ah, you tricked me.
And I should throw you back into the sea.
No, wait, don't do that. I promise I won't destroy you. I promise I'll make you a rich man.
Yes, and I am sure that you will change your mind as soon as you are out of that bottle.
No, no, please, I promise. I'll make you as rich as the ruined woman who became rich again through a dream.
I have not heard that story.
Well, then heed my tale. Once there lived in Baghdad a wealthy woman who lost all of her riches and became poor. One night, dejected and sick at heart, she lay down to sleep when she heard a voice telling her,
"Your fortune is at Cairo. Go there and seek it."
What? Who is that?
"Your fortune is at Cairo. Go there and seek it."
I don't know. Cairo's a really long way, and I kind of hate to leave my business and my family. But my business is in shambles, and I don't get along with my family that well. You know what? I don't have anything to lose. I will go to Cairo, and I will find my fortune.
and so she left for Cairo that very day. But when she reached Cairo, night overtook her, and she lay down to sleep in a mosque.
Well, we barely got away in time. Did he get the loot?
No, I didn't. I had to run.
Do you think they saw us running in here?
Help! Police! Someone tried to rob our house and they ran into that mosque!
I can see this. Let's get out of here.
Well, what? I can't believe you out. I can't believe you out.
No good lying there pretending to sleep. I mean, no good lying there pretending to sleep. You know you just tried to rob the house next door. What's the good of you?
I didn't do it. Please, please let me out. I didn't do anything. I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And what brings you to Cairo?
Well, I saw one in a dream that said to me, "Go to Cairo and seek your fortune." Ha! The fortune turned out to be a stay in your prison cell instead. I feel as foolish as the barber's fifth brother.
And what happened to the barber's fifth brother?
Well, listen, and I shall tell you. The barber brother was a poor man, but he inherited 100 drachmas. He didn't know what to do with so much money, so he invested in all different kinds of glass, and he put them all in a basket to sell for a profit. He sat out in front of the tailor shop to sell it.
This basket has cost me 100 drachmas, all that I possess in this world. When I sell each of these pieces of glass, I will earn 200 drachmas, which I will then turn and buy more glass and sell that for 400 drachmas.
Wait, who's telling the story?
Well, I am, Your Grace.
No, whose story is this?
Well, technically, this is the barber's story, and I haven't even begun to tell you about the 6 brothers yet, but his story is being told by the merchant to the magistrate, as their story is being told by the genie to the fisherman, as I am telling the tale to you.
Yes, Aunt Cuba, haven't you been listening?
I have been listening. It's just so many rich stories, many layers. I got confused.
Well, I think I could clear it up for you, but alas, it is morning, and so you must call for my mother to send me to prison. Goodbye, dear Duenazad.
Goodbye, dear Scheherazade. What strange and wonderful stories. I wish I could have found out what happened to the barbersmith's brother.
And we still don't know what happens to the merchant, or the genie, or the fisherman.
Sire, I am here as you bid.
Yes. Scheherazade is free. I will summon you in the morning.
Why, yes, Your Honor. I will do as you command.
Please. Tell us the conclusion of the fisherman and the genie, for I would like to hear it.
As you command. Let's see. Where was I? Oh, yes.
Oh, please don't throw me back. I promise I'll make you as rich as the ruined woman who became rich again through a dream.
I have not heard that story.
Well, then heed my tale. Once there lived in Baghdad a wealthy woman who lost all of her riches and was thrown into prison in Cairo.
Please, please, let me out. I didn't do anything. I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
What brings you to Cairo?
Well, I saw one in a dream that said to me, go to Cairo, seek your fortune. Now I feel as foolish as the barber's 5th brother.
What happened to the barber's 5th brother?
Well, listen, and I will tell you.
This basket has cost me 100 drachmas, all that I possess in this world. When I sell each of these pieces of glass, I will earn 200 drachmas, which I will turn around and buy more glass with and sell that for 400 drachmas. I will continue to buy and sell glass until I have earned 4,000 drachmas, which will easily double themselves. When I have earned 10,000 drachmas, I shall give up the glass trade and become a jeweler, and devote all my time to the trading and buying and selling of precious stones. At last, having all the wealth a heart can desire, I shall buy a beautiful country house, and ask for the Grand Vizier's daughter in marriage. Should the Vizier refuse my proposal, I shall seize him by the beard until he agrees. When we are married, we will return home, and my wife will compliment me on my visit to her father, but I will not respond. In the evening, I will sit in the place of honor, speaking little and gazing straight before me. And when my wife, lovely as the full moon, enters and stands humbly before me, I shall pretend not to see her. It is well to begin this on our wedding day, as I mean it to go on for the rest of our lives.
And the tailor, who had been listening to his fantasies, interrupted him to explain.
Wretched man, you ought to be ashamed at behaving so to a young wife who has done nothing to you.
The barber's 5th brother was so startled that someone was listening to him that he dropped his basket of glass, and the glass shattered into 1,000 pieces in the street.
Susan right, too.
Well, you're right, but I can't help feeling like he must have, watching all his dreams shattered in the street, all for the listening to a voice telling me to come to Cairo.
I have dreams too. 3 times I have heard a voice telling me to go to Baghdad. The voice is saying, go to the old abandoned house. Under the threshold of the doorway, by lemon trees, and past, a fortune is waiting for you. But I'm not a fool like you. I'm not leaving my home for a dream, but I'll leave your story merchant. And I'm living at home. Dad.
Thank you so much for believing
Now go.
me.
Wow.
That house she described? That sounds like my house in Baghdad. My very own house. I better hurry home as fast as I can.
And so the merchant returned home, and she found a fortune waiting for her underneath the fountain in her garden. She would use that to reestablish her business and live well and merrily for the rest of her days. So, fisherman, would you give up your own chance at fortune by keeping me here in this bottle? I promise I won't destroy you. I promise I'll make you rich.
Well, Jeannie, I am not sure that I should trust you, but I am going to anyway.
Oh. You're not to bother me anymore.
Jeannie, please remember, you promised not to hurt me.
Oh, you mortals, always so worried about your precious little lives. Now, don't worry, fisherman. I'll keep my promise. Come with me, fisherman. I'll show you where to cast your nets.
And so the fisherman followed the king to a lake surrounded by 4 hills.
Cast your net there, fisherman.
And so the fisherman cast his net and reeled it in. And little by little, lo and behold, inside his net was a large talking monkey carrying handfuls of pearls.
Oh, fisherman, I thought we was a gentleman named Arthur. Who would be happy to stand here for pulling me free. I was stuck on the until you're gonna drown me.
Fishing for monkeys, that is definitely a first.
Oh, well, forgive me. It's just the best way I know of making you rich. Now take that ape into town and sell her, along with the pearls and the gems. And that should make you a rich enough man for the rest of your days. Be careful not to keep her. Simply give her to the first person who offers you a fair price. And now, I must take my leave. I shall miss you, fisherman.
Come along, monkey.
I'm your skinny answer.
Monkey Purcell, rescued from the depths of the sea. She can talk, deep sea dive, collect jewels from the ocean. What else can you do, monkey?
I can dance.
Show us. This monkey is for sale for the right price. What is your name?
I'm called Abu Lazy because I hate doing everything and just lie around in the sun all day. But my mom gave me some money and told me to make something out of myself. Your name is?
I am Califia. I do not know what kind of investment you are seeking, but this monkey has made me very rich and may do the same for you.
I would kill a charm good sir. I can shape your destiny. If you buy me from the fisherman and heed my advice, you can be rich and everything you ever want. I'm not sure if I care for riches or not, but this should make my mom happy. And you can entertain me with your awesome days. Oh, stop. Here, Khalifa, last silver drums. Will that do?
It will indeed. A wise lad I ever saw. It is a pleasure doing business with you. All right, adios.
what should we do now?
Well, just good. And so Abu followed the monkey back to the lake, where the monkey showed him where to cast his net. Abu caught many a rare and unique fish, while the monkey dove back into the ocean and collected many more precious stones and gems. Hey! And so Abu followed the monkey to the market, where she helped him pick out the finest clothes and helped him find a shop where he became a merchant. Soon his shop became very popular, which made him very rich and very famous.
Abu, you are now rich. I think it's high time to speak this theory. Why should I? I'm happy just the way I am. Very good. As a beautiful full moon. I met one of those investment Well, I guess so. You've always given me good advice. I know.
And so Abu, dressed in his finest, took his jewels and his servants to impress the mother and her daughter for a young man who had done so well in the marketplace.
I'd like to marry this young man. Sure. Sounds good to me.
So it is settled. For the wedding.
How'd it go? Okay, so it went good. I did what you asked. I'm getting married! That's great!
There's one thing I've got to tell you. She is cursed and you can never marry her unless you both make certain exactly.
I would gladly heed your advice.
Wait, get your first, right?
Yeah.
Alright, while she's sleeping. Sneak into her room, look under the bride's face, the key.
Yeah.
Open the cabinet, take out Diamond Kiss, put the flag, and then kick it over.
Yeah.
And then she's mine, I mean yours.
I will gladly say we come with hers.
Thank you.
And so Abu snuck into the house that night and found the key exactly where the monkey had said it would be.
Yeah, whatever. Poof. Did they ever clean this house?
You ever clean yourself?
Rick. Dong. Ow.
Finally, you are mine!
Oh, God.
Abu, what have you done? It turns out that the talisman was put there to protect Shirin from the evil monkey who had been plotting for 6 years to kidnap her and take her away to the city of brass, where the sun never shines.
Oh no, I think that monkey was lying to me all along. She only made me rich so I can ask for Shirin's hand in marriage. Don't worry, man. I'll find her.
You better because she's my daughter.
Okay, yeah, bye.
Oh, but it's morning. I guess we'll never know what happens to poor Abu and the new bride to be.
I guess not, for you must call for my mother to send me to prison. Goodbye, dear sister.
I am here as you command, sire.
Yes. Scheherazade is free for today, again. I will summon you in the morning. Please, tell us about Abu and his new bride.
As you wish.
Finally, you are mine! Ha ha ha!
Abu, what have you done?
Oh no, I think that monkey was lying to me all along. Don't worry, ma'am. I'll find her.
And so Abu started on his journey. He started wandering the desert, not knowing which way Shirin went, or where the evil monkey went, or even to know where to begin to look for the city of brass.
Oh, you evil monkey. I never wanted to get rich or get married, but after a while I liked working at my store. And after I met Shirin, I liked her too. I have to get her back.
All of a sudden, Abu saw two snakes in the road, a red one and a blue one. The red one was biting the blue one vigorously, and so Abu felt he had to step in.
Hey, you, stop. Here, I'll get a rock and break this up.
And so Abu got a rock and threw it at the red monkey, or the red snake, sorry, the red snake, and it slithered away, and then the blue snake, it turned into a genie.
First of all, who are you? Second of all, an evil monkey took her into the city of brass. I have no clue where the city of brass is. And can you help me?
Totally. All the good genies will help you.
And so Abu followed the genie to the city of brass, where they found a vulture statue and poured water into it, and all of a sudden, it turned into a poof of smoke.
Good genie. Bring Shirin and the monkey to me.
No! You destroyed my talisman.
Now I'm free from you. Good genie. Make sure this monkey causes us no more trouble.
No. Although,
Can't catch me. Go get her. Thanks for saving me, Bill. Anytime, Shirin. Another is. Oh, there she is.
yeah, it's me. I'm her mother.
Duh, because I met you.
Hasn't married her.
Duh.
Well, thank you for sending us for the monkey.
You're welcome.
And we brought back riches from the city of brass.
Many blessings for you. And so they lived happily ever after, with many stories to tell their children and their children's children of the tales and happiness they had together for the rest of their lives. And now I would like to tell you another story. A story that may make you grin and blush.
Please proceed. I'm sure it will not make me grin or blush, but I may find it as engaging and entertaining as your other stories, my young queen.
This is the tale of Abu, the tale of pride and courtesy. One day, Abu was in the village talking amongst his friends.
Friends, I am sad.
Friends are friends. Perhaps some food will make you feel better.
Friendless of all the friends I have in the world. Maybe some new cookery would help you ease your sadness.
Friendless friend of all friends. How about a new clock to dry your tears with?
Friendless of all friends, have a friending to be friendly with me. Would need a new necklace or a ring to brighten this day.
Well, no. I have many wonderful things.
Perhaps it's time you put your bachelor days behind you.
A wife, you say? Yeah, a wife is what you need to help you spend your riches in the market.
Well, there's the old matchmakers down the road. Perhaps they can find a wife for you.
Ah, how convenient that our town has that.
The matchmakers, you say? Well, yes, that is convenient. I shall go there now. Thank you, friends.
Surely your new bride would like some shiny new rubies.
And a wedding dress quite gorgeous. I have the finest clothes.
am the best cook in town. No celebration can be celebrated without excellent food.
No wedding would be complete without excellent dishes to eat and enjoy from.
No, friends, I have many wonderful things, and if I do find a wife who suits me, I will have a very expensive wedding that will require all of your services, I am sure.
Abu found the old matchmaker that his friends had been talking about. They spent hours looking for the ideal bride. Before nightfall came, they found the perfect match.
Oh, this one, Mesa, she's perfect. Oh.
To the wedding, they invited kith and kin, friend and foe, and all of his acquaintances. The whole house was thrown open to feasting. There were 5 different colors of rice and sherbets of many more. Goats stuffed with walnuts and almonds and pistachios. A camel roasted whole. So they ate, drank, and made merry. At the end of the night, Abu rose slowly and with dignity. But in doing so, he was overfull of meat and drink. He let fly a great and terrible thing. Abu was mortified, as any of us would be, so he did what he perceived to be the sensible thing, and he stood up, quietly snuck out of the party, went down to the courtyard, saddled his mare, and rode all the way to the shore, where he found a ship ready to sail for Calcutta. He endured 1,000 dangers of hunger, thirst, and fatigue, and braved 1,000 dangers from lions and snakes and wolves. And in India, he started a new life and built a reputation for himself. And he became the captain of the bodyguard. The king himself entrusted him and advised him. And he remained there in happiness for 10 years. Eventually, he was overcome with homesickness and made his journey home wearing rags for a disguise, keeping his name and circumstances a secret. He set back forth to contraband, again braving 1,000 dangers of lions and snakes and wolves. At last, he reached his beloved hometown.
Oh, somebody might recognize me. I'd better stay in disguise and keep to the outskirts and listen in. I hope that nobody remembers the night that I left.
Mother, what happened to Cookie Johnson?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, 6 months.
Yes, Dad, you do.
Mother, can you tell me what day is going on? I forgot to tell me my work.
Oh, dear. How could you forget? You just like to hear me say it, don't you?
I forgot. I really tried to remember, but cannot.
Well, dear, you were born on the very night Abu Hassan tooted.
Oh, my toot has become a gate. It'll be remembered forever and ever.
And so he continued on his way, returning finally to India, where he spent the rest of his days.
That is folly indeed. To allow such a small thing to drive him away. A man should excuse his mistake and move on.
Very wise indeed. As wise as the ruler of my next story, whose name is Caliph Rashid al-Rashid. But, unfortunately, it's morning, right? Yes, it is. And so I guess we shall never hear that story, for here comes Mother to take me to prison.
No. I would like to hear how this one ends. I will hear it tonight.
This is the story of Caliph Rashid al-Rashid, who is asked to judge over a case of a vase of olives. One day, he was in his village walking through, talking to the vizier about the case that he was going to overhear.
It is always an honor to attend your court, Harun al-Rashid. Your rulings are wise and just, and it is always an honor to consult your house of wisdom and speak with your sages.
Yes, our House of Wisdom is a source of great personal pride. Well, we've collected works from all over, and in every country that we conquer or establish trade with, we send our scribes to copy out the works into Arabic and thus preserve those works for future scholars.
There is nothing like it in all the world. OMIT came not since the Library of Alexandria in Egypt, which was burned to the ground hundreds of years ago.
Yes. Yet for all of the knowledge in this House of Wisdom, I am stumped as to what to do about the case I'm to hear tomorrow. You see, Ali Kogia entrusted to his friend, a merchant, a vase of olives, and he told his friend not to look inside. Yet Ali Kogia was gone for 7 long years. And in that time, when he returned, he found that the treasure that he had hidden underneath the olives was gone. Now, his friend the merchant swears that he did not look inside and had no way of knowing that the gold was there.
This is a serious accusation against his friend, and this case is well known all over the city. Everyone is talking about it. Look, there are some children playing nearby who are acting out the trial. See?
Yes, I see. And there's one taking on my role as a judge. Let's listen in and see what solution they find.
Let's play pretend. I am the cook. Bring before me Ali, Kogia, and the merchant. Oh, I will Kogia. Me.
No! I want to be Ali Kogia.
Fine. You be Ali Kogia, and I'll be the merchant.
When I came to get the vase, the olives were there.
Daddy.
But the gold was gone.
I stored it for 7 years, and I tried to all know anything about the gold.
And I swear, when I came to get the vase, the gold was gone.
And I swear I doesn't use it.
Stop, both of you. I would like to examine the vase. Bring it to me. What beautiful olives. I would like to taste one. That is good. Maybe too good for an olive that is 7 years old. Send for some olive dealers.
I'm the olive dealer, Chloe.
Here's these olive dealers. Oh,
Well, olives in this vase are excellent, maybe 1 or 2 years old.
that can't be right. Ali Kogia says he put those olives in the vase 7 years ago.
No, these must be from this year's harvest.
And that means the merchant is a thief. He
What excellent logic! I can think of no better judgment. What do you think?
It seems to me you should follow this child's example when you preside over the case tomorrow.
Yes, indeed, I shall. Have this child summoned, along with 2 dealers in olives, and we'll see if we can't come up with the same verdict she did during her game of pretend.
And so the vizier called the child to the case, and it happened exactly like it did in their game of pretend. And so the caliph gave her 100 gold marks in order to mark his favor.
That is a good ruler indeed, that would heed the advice of even the smallest of his subjects in dealing justice so wisely.
Which reminds me of another king who's not so just.
Is this the story about the 2 security girls of their great sister?
That's the one I was thinking of.
I do love stories of justice. I'd like to hear this one as well.
Well, there's another king who likes to go among his people and listen to what they're saying. One day, while he was walking through the market, he heard 3 sisters talking about who they would like to marry.
Sisters, if you could marry any man in the world, who would you marry?
Right. I want to marry the head cook and eat all that delicious stew.
Well, if we could wish for any husband, I would like to wish for the Sultan's hand myself. You think it's funny? Why not?
Why not indeed? I am the Sultan. And I've heard your wishes, and they amuse me. And I shall also grant them. You may marry me, and you 2 can marry my baker and head cook.
Excuse us, sire. Excuse us, sir, for our foolishness, which was only said in joke. I am unworthy of the honor you propose to do me, and can only ask pardon for my boldness.
No, my mind is made up. Your wishes shall come to pass. Follow me.
And so the sisters followed the Sultan to the castle, where they all wed that very day. The youngest sister had the most extravagant wedding to the Sultan, while the two older sisters became very jealous of their less extravagant weddings to the baker and the head cook.
Sister, he must be blind. You should have a Bartimaeus Fontana.
If the Sultan chooses you, and I'll be happy, we're older sisters.
Let's plan a revenge on her, dear sister.
And so the two sisters met constantly to plan out their wicked scheme. And then one day, an opportunity arose for the sisters.
A puppy!
The two sisters had given the Sultana a puppy instead of her child, sending her child down the river. The Sultan was so upset that the Sultana would give birth to a puppy that the vizier was barely able to keep her out of prison. But soon enough, a second opportunity arose for the jealous sisters.
Our sister had another child.
Let's tell the Sultan to give birth to a cat this time.
Yeah, great idea.
A cat!
And so they presented the Sultana with a cat instead of her second child. Little did they know that her own children were being raised elsewhere. When a third opportunity arose,
Let's tell the Sultan she had a longest time for a child. Yeah.
A piece of wood! What?
the Sultan was so angry that he threw the bride into prison with the cat, the dog, and the log of wood, even though it was no fault of her own. Meanwhile, the three children were floating peacefully down the canal when they were found by...
Wait. How could he throw her in prison when she has done obviously nothing wrong? And how could he honestly believe that a piece of wood was his child?
Indeed, how could any ruler put innocent women in prison? It seems incredibly unfair.
True, but the king thought he was just doing justly, not knowing that he was putting a poor, innocent woman into prison. But it is morning, and so you must call my mother to take me to my cell. Goodbye, dear sister.
Goodbye, dear Scheherazade. I wish I could have found out what happened to the poor queen and her children.
Wait. I would like to hear how this one ends. It has given me much to think about.
As you command. Meanwhile, her own children were floating down the river where they were found by a good, kind officer and his wife. They had no children of their own, and so they raised the three children with the gentlest and kindest and tenderest of care. When they passed away, they left their land to the three children, and those children never knew that they were children of the Sultan.
My brothers! I had just given a tour to an old pilgrim woman, and she said she could imagine nothing more lovely than our garden.
We do have a beautiful home. It is the jewel of the countryside.
But she said it needs just 3 things to make it absolutely perfect.
Well, what could those be?
What are they?
The first item is the talking bird, and the second is the singing tree, and the last is the golden water.
Wow! What treasures indeed! And I have been aching to go on an adventure. Why, this could be exactly the quest I have been seeking.
Tell us where they are.
We can find these items by following the road that passes our house for 20 days.
Well, then it is settled. We will make the attempt.
I should go first.
My brothers, I am worried. I would 1,000 times rather lose these treasures than either of you should run into danger.
Fear not, sister. Take these pearls. If anything should happen to us, they will stick. And then you will know we have not succeeded in our quest. Good luck, brother.
What?
And so Bobby set off first. After 21 days, the pearls began to stick together, so she took them to her other brother with her concerns. He decided that he must set forth to find his brother. And then again, after 21 more days, the pearls began to stick together again. So concerned for her brother, she started to think that she should set off for the journey herself. So she packed her bags and set forth. After 21 days, she came across an old dervish near a tree at the frontage road of Persia.
May all your wishes be fulfilled.
Thank you, child. Tell me what I can do for you.
Gentle dervish, I seek the talking bird, the singing tree, golden water.
That is a dangerous road you seek. Heed my warning and go no further.
Nothing can make me give it up, for I must attempt to find my brothers who came looking for these treasures.
Okay then. Follow this path to the foot of the mountain and walk straight ahead on the path. You'll hear many voices insulting you, but don't pay attention to them, because if you turn your head, you will turn into a black stone like so many have done before you.
Well, then I will stuff up my ears with cotton, so that let them make as much noise as they like. I won't hear anything.
Madam, you are the first to suggest that. I hope it works for you, but know that the risk is great. Good luck.
And so she began her journey up the mountain. And as she began to go up, she heard voices. So she put the cotton in her ears so that she couldn't hear them. As she got further up, the voices got louder and louder. She just shook her head and laughed. She would not let them get in the way of her destination. At last, she perceived in the distance the bird and the cage.
Oh.
Now, my bird, I have you.
Brave lady, I swear to serve you faithfully.
Tell me, bird, where are the singing tree and the golden water to be found?
The water is nearby. The tree is behind you in that wood. You only need to break off a twig and plant it in your garden and it will grow to a magnificent tree.
Easy enough. Also, bird, tell me where among these black rocks my brothers may be found, so I may carry them away.
Take this pitcher and scatter a little water from it on every black stone you see, and you will soon find your two brothers.
And so they began their ascent back down the mountain, sprinkling water on every black rock that they saw, which turned into gentlemen's and knights, until eventually she found her brothers, to her astonishment and amazement.
My brothers, I am so glad to see you. I thought I would never see you again.
Well, we've been asleep.
Yeah, I've been asleep.
We came seeking the treasures, and we were cursed instead. Thank you for saving us.
Oh, I did no more for you than you would have done for me, my brothers. Now, let us ride home swiftly and safely.
And so they rode home with the gentlemen and knights escorting them until they found their way home safely. When they got home, they planted the twig into the garden, which grew into a beautiful tree. And then they took the water and poured it into a basin, which shot into the air 20 feet high. The fame and wonders of these magnificent things spread throughout the land until eventually word got back to the Sultan himself.
Sister, the Sultan was out and saw us hunting, and he sent us to ask you your permission to come and see the wonders that we have traveled the world so far to bring home.
Let us consult the talking bird and hear what she says.
You made a plate of cucumbers stuffed with pearls, served with the baked crust by the Sultan.
Cucumbers stuffed with pearls? Why, bird, who ever heard of such a dish?
Mistress, do what I tell you and good will come of it.
And so Princess Parizade ordered the cook to make the dish of cucumbers stuffed with pearls, while the brothers sent word to the Sultan so that he may come and see their land that had become so famous.
We are honored to welcome you to our home, dear Sultan.
It's been an honor to get to know your brothers on the hunting grounds. And to finally meet you. You, all of the same age my children would have been. And this house is equally as lovely.
This is only a simple country house, sire, suitable for people like ourselves.
You call this a simple country house? Why, if every country house were like this, the town would soon be deserted. How do you get your water to rise so high in from your fountain? And where have you hidden your musicians? Are they up in the air or under the earth?
The voices you hear, sire, all come from that tree over there.
I pray you, madam, tell me how this tree came to be in your garden.
This is the singing tree, and it is not a native of this country. We brought it here along with the golden water and the talking bird.
Well, I'm dying to see the talking bird.
Bird! This is the Sultan.
The Sultan is welcome. We've prepared special performance for you.
What a marvelous performance. The talking bird, singing tree, and golden water are surely the wonders of the kingdom. It was quite an honor to witness.
We have also prepared a special dish for you.
What is this? Cucumber is my favorite dish. This is a novelty indeed. That the stuffing made of pearls. But I do not understand as one cannot eat pearls.
Sire, surely you cannot be confused of having cucumber stuffed with pearls. And so easily believe that the Sultana had presented you, instead of children, was a dog, a cat, and a log of wood.
I believed it because the women attending on her told me so.
The women, sire, were just sisters of the Sultana. These are your children. One was saved by an officer of your rank and brought up by him as if they were his own.
Bird, my heart tells me what you say is true. My children, let me embrace you.
And so the Sultan wasted no time in releasing his bride from prison and putting the two jealous sisters in her place.
Madam, I have come to ask pardon for the great injustice I have done to you, and to introduce you finally to our children.
Children?
Who are the most charming and accomplished creatures in the whole world.
Children? And see the beautiful young adults who have
mockingbird, which led us to finally meeting you. And though we risked much, it was worth it to finally all be united together again.
And so there were many tears, and many hugs, and many embraces, and many stories to tell for all the years that they were apart, and to have many more stories as they lived together happily ever after for the rest of their days.
What a wonderful story. Do we have time for another?
I think we do. This time I'd like to tell a love story about Prince Aladdin and Princess Badroulbadour, who would have never met if it weren't for two genies who had...
Scheherazade. I'm sure that is an interesting tale, but I do believe I would like to tell you a story.
Indeed, my grace.
It is a story of a sultan who was bewitched by hate and would punish all those who would get near him, and would have continued had fate not intervened and brought before him a woman who through her tales tried to make him see the error of his ways, and when he finally realized what she wanted him to see, he repented and released all of his former brides from prison and asked for the pardon of the storyteller, along with her patient young sister.
I am touched by your story, Shamir, and your pardon is granted.
Vizier, please approach.
Yes, Your Grace?
Vizier, your daughter is beautiful, smart, funny, loyal, and I have come to love her through these 1,001 nights as she has told me her tales. She is free to go as she pleases, along with all of the brides that I have sent to prison in my folly.
Thank you, Your Grace.
It seems my plan to avoid a broken heart is foiled, for I shall truly have a broken heart without Scheherazade by my side. But such is no more than I deserve.
I have always admired you, my king, and I have come to love you as well, for all the attentions that you paid to my stories, and your willingness to grow and learn and adapt as we both shall do together for the rest of our lives. I will remain your bride because I choose to.
No words have ever made me happier. Vizier, call forth for our finest scribes, so that they may take down Scheherazade's tales, so that they may live on for 1,000 years more, and be told in future houses of wisdom, say, a 21st century library.
And so it shall be, Your Grace.
she was our ASM. We have Audrey as well. Audrey's our backstage manager. And then we would like to give a big shout out to Angie Gerhold. I think she's in the audience. And Garfield.